Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable NBA Edition. I'm your host, Thomas. I said Thomas, that's insane. Justin Jones here with co host Sebastian Pluvio. NBA playoffs is still going on. This has probably been one of the crazier playoffs in a while. I say that because I feel like the last four final teams, I feel more in the East, no one expected. In the West, I think a lot of people might have had, Minnesota or OKC, right? Those were teams that was talked about throughout the whole season. But when you talk about the Knicks and the Pacers, yes, the Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, but when people was talking about finals predictions, you was hearing Celtics, right? You was hearing maybe Milwaukee, right? Maybe towards the beginning of the season before we knew that the Philadelphia medical staff was, hurting their own players, Philadelphia, just things like that, right? And they all just got knocked out. Philly didn't even make the damn playoffs, right? So we got an Indiana versus New York Knicks Eastern Conference Finals. Is this the last time since 2000?
Yeah, it's been the last time since 2000.
Pretty sure this is the last time they faced off in the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000. I think that's back when they still had Patrick Ewing, no?
Patrick Ewing, who else? Reggie Miller, John Starks.
Right.
They had all them boys.
Right. So we're rekindling an older rivalry. It's just so interesting how we see how it could take a lot of years, damn near 2 decades, to get back to where you was 2 decades ago. Right? You talking about 2000, late 90s, early 2000s. The Knicks was a force to be reckoned with,
Nah,
right?
fact.
And so was the Indiana Pacers. But then, their star players got old. You got to rebuild, make the right moves, hire the right coach. You got to go through all this stuff just to get back here. 25 years. That's why you see the Knicks fans, even though they're being a little ignorant, but you see them outside Madison Square Garden chasing down Brian
Yeah,
Windhorst,
I was
calling
just
him a
about to. Yo, New Yorkers. Why I do Windhorse like that?
listen,
You said
chasing
what
them
you
to
think
his
about
damn
the what you think
hotel
about the
room.
Celtics. You said shut up, pussy. Yo, nah, that was OD. You know
Yeah.
what makes it even fucked up? After the game, he was doing the post game thing. He said, "Yo, my hotel's right around the corner. I'm about to walk. I should be fine."
No, yeah. Shout out to Brian Windhorst for being a good sport, because
Nah,
there
yeah.
could have been some Caucasian people who tried to make this a big thing. Now it's on ESPN the next day and all this crazy nonsense. Brian Windhorst seems like a good dude. Even back when LeBron kind of just threw him under the bus after Windhorst said nothing but positive things about him. Still never said nothing bad or distasteful or classy. Gentlemen, just
Cool dude.
just yeah, just gives his opinion. We will have Brian Windhorst on the podcast eventually. I promise you, I'm telling you, like Brian Windhorst will be on here soon. But
Wendy.
main point, 25 years been a long time since the Knicks and or Pacers have been like this successful and just relevant just so consistently. So I can't wait till that game that goes on tomorrow night. But today on the other side, Western Conference, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, two of the new faces of the NBA. Right, the young guns that everyone talks about, who's supposed to be taking over the league and is going to be a force to be reckoned with for years and years to come. Minnesota. I think I'm forgetting this statistic. I'm not sure if it's the first time ever or the first time since in a long time that they made the conference finals in back-to-back years. So shout out to them for accomplishing that. Giving them all their flowers because this was a team that me and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people wrote off when they did make that trade, right? To acquire
Fact.
Julius Randle, giving away Carl Anthony Towns. And I just thought you losing a focal point on the offense to side like that, you're gonna now force other people to step up. And they just have, right? We talked about the Jada McDaniels and the Nas Reeds, even someone like Nikhil Alexander Walker that can come off the bench and give you solid minutes, right? So everyone stepped up in their role, played their role to a T. Shout out to Chris Finch for just believing in the system. I heard his press conference after they beat Golden State, and I feel the person was kind of asking him just how did it feel to just go through this crazy season that you had, with the injuries to Randall and just the up and down stuff. And he just said things take time. All right, people just want
True.
at the beginning of the season for you to go 15-0, and for all the ESPN critics to have y'all go into the finals and all this. When he said you gotta have growing pains, you're gonna have to lose games. You're gonna have to learn how to win, learn how to lose, learn how to be a good teammate. All these things, and it takes time. And he just got clicking at the perfect time. So shout out to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then you got OKC on the other end. They've been a juggernaut the whole season, right? Number one in damn near every defense statistical category, right? Shea Gilgeous Alexander, MVP candidate, most likely will win the MVP. I feel even especially after they just beat Jokic. Find it a little strange that the award wasn't gonna come out till this, that series was over. But like first class organization for the longest time. They had a great season. All their players stepped up. You finally got a healthy year of Chet Holmgren, right? So you finally got to see what this team could really be, and they've just been a force to be reckoned with. Just how do you feel about this matchup, and just how do you feel it's going to play out?
To me, this is a battle of the stars between Shea Gilgis and Anthony Edwards, two of the most prolific players that we have in today's game. These young players that are, the future of the league for years to come. So I'm expecting both of them to really show out. When I look at it, these past couple games that they had throughout the regular season, it's been very close. I know the last matchup that they had, I believe the Timberwolves were down 20, and they found a way to win that game, especially off a back-to-back. So I'm expecting the series to be relatively a 7 game series. I feel like both teams have just found their niche in the playoffs, especially the Minnesota Timberwolves, and just relying on just all these players that they have. It's not just the Anthony Edwards show. It's not just the Julius Randle show. You got guys that can put the ball in the basket with the Jaden McDaniels of the world. You got guys that can put the basket with the Nikhil Alexander Walkers, Dante DiVincenzo. Mike Conley has even looked like he's found some type of life because when I looked at it before, Mike Conley looked like a step slow, like feel me, like he was about to be out the league. But looking at him now is more so of that he's hungry too. He got that spirit that he feels like he can win a championship too as well with this team. So all this factor going on with the Minnesota Timberwolves definitely gives them a little edge. When I look at it on the Oklahoma City Thunder side, they're a team that they know what they want to do. When I look at it, they're very confident in their abilities. We look at it from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster. Everybody knows what they want to do, and I feel like they pride themselves on so much defense. And you've seen it in that game 7 to where the Denver Nuggets came out on a 21 and to 10 run, and then as soon as Jokic sat down, the whole game just switched up, and they took control of the game within the second quarter before halftime. And you've seen it with a whole bunch of defensive stops, just pushing the ball in fast breaks. I seen it to where a point where Jokic was in fucking hell when Alex Caruso was guarding him because he was denying ball very well. This is a team that they get into these passing lanes, they push the ball out in transition, they getting quick fast break dunks, and they coming back on the other end and it's putting the straps on you. Another guy, I see Casey Wallace, somebody who I talked about like earlier in this year, who I feel you can win a playoff game off straight defense to offense too. And I've seen that a lot out of this Oklahoma City team. So when they're energetic on defense, everything seems to be rolling for them. They're a tough team to beat at home as well. When I look at it, you're not gonna really walk into their arena and then really take a game unless that feel me you really want it. And I feel like this series should be a 7 game series of the strength of Anthony Edwards as a superstar. He does not fear no matchup. You could have to show him that you're better than him. Shea Gilgis is somebody that he's resilient in his work. He averages 30 for the most part of the season just because of the strength of he puts in the work. He's very skilled at what he does, which getting to the mid range, getting to set shots, attacking to the basket, drawing contact when needed. So it's gonna be a tough series. If I have to give my prediction, I would have to say maybe Oklahoma City in 6. Just I feel like just the components that they have, just with the two big lineup they have of Chet and Hartenstein, is gonna make it tough for a guy like Julius Randle to get those looks at the basket, to finish strong at the basket. Because when you look at it, Chet Holmgren is a prolific shot blocker. Isaiah Hartenstein is not that far off too either. So I feel like the whole paint might get shut down. Rudy Gobert is gonna have to work a little bit harder because this is not no Draymond Green. This is not no Kevin Looney. This is not the Lakers series where you don't have a big. You have two bigs that can actually disrupt what you got going on. So when I look at it, it's gonna be a tough series. I definitely feel like both star players are gonna play their best game. It's just gonna bring out the best in each other. So, but I have to say Oklahoma City in 6.
Okay, I'm not mad at that, but there is one thing I just need to hear. your opinion on how did you hold on?
One
Is the
second, Justo. There you go.
we good?
Uh, it
Hold
seems a
on for
little bit low,
technical
but
difficulties, everybody. Is it me though?
it's straight now.
You sure?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So what I wanted to ask you was, how do you feel about Russell Westbrook in Game 7? The floor is yours.
Ah, he
We
played
want to call.
bad. I'm not gonna.
We want to we want to. Westbrook has a good game, and Ariel wants to say, "Oh, look." But here's my problem with Russ: you gotta be consistent.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
feel he's not consistent.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not
Same
disagreeing
thing.
with that.
Same thing with Harden's a little different because in the regular season he's good, but I feel in the playoffs he's just real inconsistent too. But Russ, he had I think a good game, maybe one good game this series, or maybe it was last series to where he played a lot better. But once again, when we needed the stars to be stars and your top players to be your top players, he was a no show.
He was a no-show, fair enough, but I'll call it a
Turning the
spade a
ball
spade.
over, playing right into OKC's head. I was watching it with my own eyes.
Fair enough. I was watching it too. But Russ played bad. I'm not doing it. This series was not. They had him in hell this series because they were just forcing him to be the playmaker. And I told you, I said, don't do anything that involves you making a decision, man. I literally told you. But the only thing I would say is that he's not the only one to get the blame for it. He played like crap. I'm full on board with that. But nobody's gonna talk about Michael Porter Jr. He doesn't
Oh
exist.
no, we know that a lot of people didn't play well. I'm just saying because
No,
you
and I'm
can't.
not talking to you. No, I'm not talking about you because I know me and you, like, feel me? We talking about Russ right here. But I'm talking about in general. Like, I've seen all these posts. Russell Westbrook, Michael Porter Jr. didn't play. Jamal Murray didn't have one of the low tied for the lowest points that he had in this playoff series with 13 points. He was a no-show. Aaron Gordon, I excuse Aaron Gordon. Feel me? I know we have this thing that if you're on the court, you're damn near healthy. But it takes heart to go out there and play. Feel me? When they say don't play on a hamstring, that's damn near could get worse. So in a game 7 situation, I got none but mad respect. This is like that's some real warrior shit. Aaron Gordon, you got my respect, bro. Like, feel
Aaron
me?
Gordon
Like,
gets a pass for
yeah,
Game
he gets a
7.
pass. Jokic only took 9 shots. He went 5 from
Yeah,
9. Like,
that's
feel me?
not
Like
good.
the whole team, they fell into the OKC trap, man. They literally was force feeding Jokic. Westbrook more than time force feed Jokic to where I'm watching him, and he's just trying to get Jokic the ball. Caruso's like denied. Casey Wallace denied. Like, and the worst part about it, if you can't hit no shots, then it's like, damn. So it got to a point where it's like nobody could buy a basket, and I'm just looking at this team like, did you deflate out? And that's what it looked like. They deflated out. So back to the drawing board. I'm disappointed because I definitely thought this was maybe Westbrook's best and last chance of winning a championship. I don't know, man. I said the what not to do's, and then the what not to do's turned into do's. 6 points. I told you we needed 10. I don't think besides Jokic and fucking Christian Braun, nobody else played good. So it was like, I don't know, man.
No, yeah, this is not like Russ
I don't know.
slander. I just like for when we
But one
be
more thing. Fuck you, Nick Wright. I'm sorry. I just don't like that guy. I just don't like that guy.
Nick Wright is a friend of this show,
He's a
and
bitch. He'll
Nick
never
Wright,
show his face on this show.
Nick Wright will
Never.
be on this show. Don't
Never.
ban Nick Wright from the show. Nick
Never.
Wright will be
Matter of
on this
fact, yeah,
show,
yeah. Come to the
and we
show so
will talk about Russell Westbrook. Yes, we will.
he's a hater.
The hey, listen, hater or not, I don't want to talk about Nick Wright. I just like on the show when we're transparent. When we say something one day in the beginning of a series, I want us to come back on here and just say we was led astray.
Yeah.
All right, but Russ was not the reason why they lost that game 7. It was for what Seb was kind of hinting at. It was just an overall not a good team effort when your star player only has 5 made field goal attempts in a game 7. That's not really gonna get the job done. So Denver just has to fix the roster up a little bit. I don't know if that's adding little minor pieces or is that trading Michael Porter Jr. But either way, you got to get Jokic more help. I've been pitching this. Denver, you got to find a way to either get into this Kevin Durant sweepstate
Yo, this is why you my
or
guy. This is why
or
you my guy, bro. This is why I was just This is Fabian's been hiding. I've been telling him. He said, "Why the fuck you want KD? He's old." I'm like, nigga, you know what KD could do for Denver's offense?
yeah, I think Denver, like if you put Kevin Durant in that game 7, if it's they're going cold like that, you have a guy who's literally the 7 footer who can just get you a basket at will. So I think he fits there because you're gonna have to either double Jokic or double Durant. And I think Jokic, unlike a Booker, Jokic being a pass first and create so much attention, I think that would open up the game for Kevin Durant a lot more. But that's a plan B. Plan A, you got Jokic. You better call Giannis and start talking Slovenian or whatever you from, or start showing him your horses. I'll give you 3 horses if you come here. I don't know, but Jokic and Giannis, that would be probably the most dangerous duo in the NBA. And then you just fill out your roster. But plan A, if I'm Denver, I don't care if I got to give up Murray, Porter, Payne Watson, 2 picks to get Giannis. I'm doing that. Or KD, I'll try to give a little less. But if I can get KD, but Jokic has to get a real co-star. Jamal Murray is a good player. I just feel like he only really shines when he play the Lakers. Like when he plays the Lakers, that nigga look like MJ. Like that nigga just like, listen. I have nothing bad against the Lakers, but other teams it'd be okay. You know
Yeah,
he's a good player.
I feel like
I-
he'll have a one. He'll have a good game. Out of a 7 game series, he'll have like maybe 2 games where he really takes the offensive load off of Jokic. I think a lot of times in this series, he's been relatively up and down to where he'll give you 30 points one game, and then he'll give you like 15 points the next game. And I just felt like he just wasn't a consistent factor. I don't know if it was due to injuries throughout the year or what the case may be, but I feel like this Denver Nuggets team has definitely, met the expiration date on this championship window that they had as this core together. You could tell by a guy like Michael Porter, I just felt like he was just not in the mix of things. I feel like he was like zoned out of really just what they got going on. Aaron Gordon, I feel like he's like really wanted this chance to at least see if this was their last run. Jamal Murray, I feel like it's time for you to move off from him and just maximize the less the rest of the remaining prime years of Nikola Jokic because he's not getting younger. He's 30 right now, and feel me, maybe you have like another 3 or 4 year window
Damn,
gap
Jokic
to
is 30.
yeah. You have maybe like another 3 or 4 year window gap to where he's playing at a fucking unbelievable level where he's leading at least 4 out of 5 statistical categories, his top 5 in all of them shits. You're not gonna get that for as however long you get that for. So you have to really maximize what Jokic has left in the tank, and that starts with just rebranding the roster, finding out which pieces fit, which pieces don't, and it's clear as evidence day that he needs to start, like you said, a real definitive start to where the load is not on him to where every time we're looking at Jokic, it's just like, yo, if you don't have a triple double, how are we gonna win this game? If you don't put up 30 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, are we even contenders or shit like that? Like, feel me? We're at a point now where we know what Jokic is capable of doing, but it doesn't have to be on a night to night basis to where you have to give a Denver Nuggets a shot of winning. There should be some type of contributions from other players to where now Jokic could at least have like a regress role. We know he could put up these numbers. We know what he's capable of doing. But if it has to be on night to night basis now to where you're gonna get tired eventually, and you're not getting younger, like I said, it's gonna feel me. Eventually, it's gonna come back to bite you. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, definitely made some great points. I'm gonna be interested to see what moves that the Denver Nuggets make in this upcoming offseason once the playoffs and free agency and things like that begin. But back to the series that we were talking about, OKC and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Believe you said you had OKC in 6, right?
You're right.
Just for me, I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I trust the others for Minnesota more than I trust the others for Oklahoma City. Granted, Jalen Williams played well in game 7 compared to his game 6, right?
Right.
But I just need to see what I'm gonna get from Chet and Jalen. Why I feel like I have to be honest. I know what I'm going to get from Julius Randle. He's been playing well ever since the playoffs have started. I believe averaging 23, 6 and 6. That's an all NBA type level that he's playing at.
Right.
And then you got whoever the third option is going to be. Jaden McDaniels has been solid for the most part. Now not Nas Reed has been more lackluster than actually playing well. He was a sixth man of the year last year. I don't feel in this playoff run he's been playing at that level. I think they're gonna need that as the series go on, and it gets tougher and tougher. You're gonna need your players who are your top guys to be your top guys. And Nas Reed is a top five player on this team. He's been playing like a bottom five player on this team, just in my opinion. He needs to keep his head in the game and just knock down those shots, right? And then Rudy Gobert, once again, just every series, just due to his offensive um lack of offense and on the defense and not really being a perimeter defender, he has to find ways to stay, relevant and make an impact in every series that he's in. This one with OKC, they do have some formidable bigs. Talked about Chet, who can step out to the 3-point line, and Isaiah Hartenstein, who's always active. So Rudy's Gobert gonna have to work this series, and he's gonna have to be on that level of that four-time Defensive Player of the Year. We're gonna need that this series to really muck things up inside and make sure Shea, and J Dub is not just getting to the basket at will, right? But yeah, I got Minnesota winning this series in seven. OKC's defense, I feel, will keep them in this series, and Shea's gonna at least, win you at least just, I feel, two games just off the strength of his scoring. But I think just Ant and Julius Randle's on a tear right now. I seen it firsthand what they did to my Lakers, and I just think they're riding on a wave of confidence right now.
Uh, I agree to you on that point. Just the offense and just the confidence that Minnesota Timberwolves have right now. I just think that me personally, like you said, I feel like defense goes a long way, and I think just running into two perimeter, like two shot blockers in Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein, I just think it might make it tough. Like we might not get the same Julius Randle, and I'm not saying it to just downplay. I like feel me, but I just do feel like when being Julius Randle, who he is, and attacking the basket as Franklin will. Did you really like? There wasn't no real shot blockers on these past two series. Now you got two tall ass 7 footer, like a fucking
Yes,
two
but
trees.
all right, but Chet, all right, Isaiah Hartenstein, I wouldn't label him a shot blocker. He's a formidable defender, 7 foot, but I wouldn't label him a shot blocker. And Chet weighs about 67 pounds. I think Julius Randle just has to, put his backside on him, start, start playing like Shaquille O'Neal, man. You're gonna have to make the game physical for Chet. That's where I think you like Chet. We're gonna have to see what Chet is made of. Julius likes to back you down,
Right,
take
right.
take take about 15 seconds off the shot clock and get to the basket. Is Chet's body gonna be able to hold up? I don't. I've never seen that. Like I don't. So this shot
Nah, I
blocking is
mean,
cool, but
yeah.
I need to see is Chet gonna be able to, use that muscle in his body because Julius wants to muck the game up down there.
Right. Now, I mean, yeah, I guess I could. I guess I see where you're coming from because Julius Randle definitely did that when they were playing when he was on the Knicks against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The same thing with the two big lineup, two shot blockers with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. He definitely, forced them to like not even force them. He punked them basically, getting these offensive boards, going right back up with the ball, just playing strong. And it threw off those two centers. Sorry, my fault.
You good,
AM
man?
thing, AM brain fart. But yeah, it just threw off their game thus far. And maybe it might, but maybe it won't. But I think that might just be the only thing. Other than that, though, you make extremely good points too. So when Randall and Anthony Edwards is going on, it's a lot, especially for when the other guys as well too, like the DiVincenzo's when he's getting offensively going. And this is a team that multiple players can have double digits. For the OKC thing side, is like I'm only relying on maybe like 3 players, 4 players to have double digits, and everybody else to fall into the single digit category. Most likely I'm relying on J Dub, Shea, and Chet. And I'm trying to think maybe Lou Dort, maybe when he has it going on, maybe when he doesn't. But this is just a team right now. I just felt like they're showing why they won 67 games this year. I think that just the Denver series just challenged them just to be better offensively too as well. Because I think for the most part they've been relying on their defense. They're a good offense team. I wouldn't say a great offensive team. They're a good offense team and they're a great defensive team. And they have this saying to where defense wins championship. And I think that's been their philosophy for the most part. And they're going to stick towards that for the rest of the playoffs, because I don't really see an increase in everybody just putting up points. I think everybody just gets a piece of the pie, and then they just let the main star be the main star.
No, yeah, you definitely made some great points. Lastly, I just wanted to say, I think we're gonna see a lot of energy exerted from Lou Dort. I think that's gonna be the primary defender on Anthony Edwards, and it doesn't look like a walk in the park to guard a player like Anthony Edwards. So I'm expecting a lot of huffing and puffing and sweating and the what just the wear and tear to the body to Lou Dort just having to just guard that matchup this series. So I think that's gonna be something to look at. But moving on to the Eastern Conference side, like we started off, just kind of talked about just the history of the Knicks and Indiana Pacers. They meet up again, once again, in the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow, 8 p.m. Game one, TNT. It's going to be rocking in New York. Um, just in this series, I love that New York is finally feeling something that they could love again when it comes to the New York Knicks team. I love it for other people, right? I work in a shelter and there's a lot of Knicks fans in there and they be happy when we put the game on. They're passionate, just wearing the whole Knicks outfits and stuff like that. Um I was in the city just the past weekend and I seen just all the Knicks fans and just things like that flooding the trains and things like that. So it's good to see New York believe in something positive. Even though once again they start crashing out after the game, throwing trash bags at people and it'll
Yeah.
be seeing videos of
Honestly,
like 70,
I'm
80
not even
people.
mad at that. Because why are you in New York with a Tyrese Halliburton jersey? You're
No, no, no,
trolling.
no, no. He was kind of. I think he was trying to go viral, but that doesn't mean you throw trash on someone. You got a
You
mob of
trash.
mad niggas following the nigga down the block. Like that definitely does look crazy. But hey, it's passionate fans. As long as no violence is happening, because I don't want
Yeah.
to. We don't want to make it like we're classless. We're classless people here, in New York. So I get it. Be happy and all that. Do all the, but no violence, no killing. I don't want to hear no story someone was stabbed and cause you know how New York gets. So just
Yeah, I
everyone
ain't going
chill.
front. That's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing I don't want to see. Go ahead,
Right.
go crazy, bro. Go crazy. But don't kill
Listen,
each other, man. Like y'all supposed to be, yo.
we
This is the
talked
most
about
white and black people I've seen together in
listen,
a long time, bro.
we talked about people killing they was killing each other over Popeye's chicken sandwiches. We seen crazier stuff. I don't want to see the Knicks winning the Eastern or the championship and now on the damn parade, niggas getting jumped and everyone just calm down, just take it a game at a time. I get it. But point being, I'm happy for New York. I just think this is a bad matchup for New York because they don't play a lot of people. The Pacers do, and I think as the series goes on, if the next game plan has to be, I feel from Tom Thibodeau, is try to end the series earlier than extend it. If you extend the series, like just like last year, it went 7 games, and by that seventh game, it came down to your best player getting hurt. It was like every game somebody was going down. Thibodeau is going to have to figure out how to adjust the minutes. They're going to, because the Pacers like to get up and down. They don't want to play no half court style. They want to run up and down. Tyrese Halliburton pushing the pace, hit just great ball movement, driving and kicking out to shooters. Like this is the series that the Knicks is gonna. I feel we're gonna have to see something a little different. Now, obviously, if the game is close towards the end, Brunson's gonna do his thing. But if we look at it in every clutch game this postseason, the Pacers have won. I've seen the Pacers in that Cavs series, or I think it was the Pacers, and where they had like a 1% chance to win at a point and still did it.
That's
So
facts.
it's like they're confident in what they have. They're confident in their game plan. Their coach, shout out to Rick Carlisle. He knows what he's doing. Tyrese Halliburton is riding on a wave of confidence right now. His dad crashed out in the first series. Like all the snow bunnies will be watching. Like I listen. Tyrese Halliburton is just that dude right now, bro. Everyone they're playing with elite confidence. The Knicks are gonna have to be on their shit. Karl Anthony Towns is gonna have to have a good series.
True.
The Celtics gave y'all that series playing like 6-year-old kids just shooting 100 threes
Gave
per
us?
game. Well, yeah, because if you're looking at the roster construction, the Celtics had the better roster.
Then nothing is
And
given in
then
this
if you
league. It's
look, all right,
earned.
Seb, I don't want to argue. Y'all won the series. I'm talking about breaking it down. Y'all was down 20 the first two games. Y'all should have lost that game. The Celtics were just playing so erratic. Like I don't understand why did that happen. And the first series against Detroit, y'all were the veteran team. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do. This series right here though is way different. The Knicks are gonna have to be on their shit. I need Cat to be on his shit. OG Anunoby can't have too many one for 12 games. There can be all this Mikal Bridges offense magically turns on in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to play from the start. The Pacers don't just get a big lead and then just let it go. They're gonna keep going because once they put in their bench players, them niggas could play. We already talked about the TJ McConnells, the Benedict Mathurin, the Neesmiths. The I can go on and on. This team is ready. They're rested right now. I got Pacers we're from New York. I'm not expecting the Knicks. The Knicks win. Kudos. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying. I got.
Think about it.
I'm gonna go Pacers in seven. And that's showing respect to the Knicks. I expect the Knicks to win games this series because I think
Think
some
about it.
games will be close and they're great in the clutch. They got the best clutch player. I expect them to win two or at least three games. I'm saying Pacers in seven. Well, like I said, the Knicks win. I would not be surprised. I feel they're riding on a wave of momentum. Also, um, I just think their others are really gonna have to step up, and I gotta see it. But I got Pacers in seven.
Think about it, man. You might change your mind later on in this series, but right now, I got the Knicks in six. I just think that for right now, just you got to be battle tested in this playoffs, and I feel like the Knicks have been battle tested in situations to where even in the Detroit series, you play a team that's damn near tougher than you. You might be the vet team, but Detroit was more physically and mentally tough than the New York Knicks, and you built and grew off of that. In this Boston Celtics series, you went through that. You got to go against the defending champions, and regardless if we were down 20 and we find a way to win, like for me, no matter if it's an ugly win or a good win, you in the playoffs, you got to find a way to win. It only matters like if you win or lose in the playoffs. Like it doesn't matter if you came back from 20 and you fell short of a win or you lost. Or in that case, like you have to win. And I think more than not, like I think we found just different ways to win, especially in those first two games against Boston, both being down 20 and just finding a way to overcome. Even in game five, just finding out what we're made of in our best offensive game for damn near the whole series. I think Game Five really showed a lot, especially about in Jalen Brunson, especially in a tight game situation, to where you need somebody to really just put that cape on their back and really show like I'm one of the best players in the league. I think he's shown that Jalen Brunson, you got to consider him a top five player in the league. When I'm looking at it as well as
Top
game,
five player in the league for what?
what do you in
What
basketball?
are you talking about? You mean like just in the playoffs right now, or are
No,
you
in
talking
the
about?
league, man, because playoffs
So
is where you
next
make your
season,
name.
you're saying starting next season, he's a top five player in the league. You're saying
Yes,
no,
yes.
because you got
I,
Jokic, Giannis. You have Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Luca, and then who am I missing?
don't talk to me about players that's been at home for quite some while or in Cancun.
And Shea.
You don't talk to me about players that's at home right now, man. Talk to me about the players that's
No, but
doing it
then
right now.
look, you can't. I you know what? Say whatever you want. I just feel when you start talking, you don't be realistic. That's why I'm like, you
What do you
saying
mean I'm
top
not?
five based off right now, talking about who's not here in the playoff. That
Wait,
doesn't mean
don't
you're not a
don't do
top
that.
five
Don't
player.
do
What are you
that because I
talking
could bring
about?
up when you said if Jimmy Butler won a championship, he said he's the best player in the NBA.
No, yeah. So if you want to say that, that's fine. But also, we had a track record of Jimmy taking his teams to the NBA Finals,
Listen, man, Jalen Brunson's a top five player in the
and
NBA
there
right
was an
now, man.
underdog in every series when I said that.
Wasn't he just an underdog in the Boston series?
Yeah, I said every series, not
Did
one series.
Then he just put up 36 in game 5.
Seb,
Did
if you think Jalen Brunson is a top 5 player, then that's your opinion. I'm just saying. So let me ask you: you think Jalen Brunson is better than Giannis? Just
right
player,
now,
not your
yes.
team success.
Yes,
Player,
yes,
but
yes,
all right,
yes,
go ahead, go ahead.
yes. Yes, I'm taking Jim Brunson. That's Captain Clutch,
Okay,
man.
continue. I'm
All
not
right.
arguing with you.
No, I'm not
Go.
arguing. I'm just explaining me. I'm talking about me and what I see from Jalen Brunson, man. He's that nigga, bro. He's on one of them generational runs, bro. And every time I watch him play, he rises up to the moment. He doesn't shy away from no occasion. You let me know when Jalen Brunson has folded yet. You let me know. He might not. If he's not having a good game, he's not having a good game. But he rises to the occasion every time. And a player like that, I'm confident
I'm gonna
going
get him
into a
drug
series.
tested, yo. I'm gonna get him drug tested. But
No
let me
need to
talk.
get me drug
I'm gonna
tested,
get him drug
bro.
tested.
No need to get me drug tested.
No, finish. I
Everybody,
have
if you
nothing
have the
else to
eye
say.
test, you
That
gonna
was the
sit there and tell me,
craziest thing I've heard in a long time. But go ahead. You're good.
all right, a person that averaged 30 in the playoffs, now all of a sudden not a top 5 players. Talk to me when everybody else doing that. But like I'm saying, man, Captain Clutch, man, when I have the player like that, caliber player like that on the floor, I'm more confident than that. I know what Tyrese Halliburton is capable of. I know what this Indiana team is capable of. But I do know the Knicks is healthy now. I do know we're not missing 4 starters like how we did last year. I do know that we now have 2 defensive guys in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges that are wing stoppers. I do know that too. I do know that Mitchell Robinson has one of the best plus minuses in the playoffs. Fuck all the free throws. When he's out there on the court, the defense looks way better. And I seen him last in the closeout game against Boston. He's guarded 1 through 5s, closing out, doing all types of shit. It's not going to be a walk in the park for Siakam or for fucking Miles Turner. I don't even know who the fuck is Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant. No, I'm not hearing that. You want to talk about the bench? Cool. We have a Deuce McBride off the bench who's feeling himself now, who's definitely played stepped up in these past playoff games. We have that off the bench too. We have what? We play a 7-game rotation, man. At the end of the day, though, our players are going to be in a flow of things regardless because we're going to play those heavy minutes. We're built for those heavy minutes. Mikal Bridges just played 51 minutes. Iron Man didn't fold, man. Like, feel me? Whatever you saying about this Pacers team, I know what they're capable of. Shout out to them. I'm not discrediting nothing that they do. I'm just saying the adversity has came through the New York Knicks, man. Every series has been grit thus far. We haven't had no cakewalks, none of that. Nothing was given to us in the series. You just said that, oh, we were supposed to lose that game. We didn't give up in that game. We didn't give up in that game. Some people could say Boston took their feet off the gas. Whose fault is that in a playoff game? You never take your foot off the gas in a playoff game. And for 4 quarters straight, for both fourth quarters, we found a way to come back from 20 points and still home, like not even at our home crowd, away on the road in the TD Garden, to where a bunch of Celtics fans are screaming, fuck the Knicks, fuck Jalen Brunson, and you do that. That's adversity at its finest, man. That means you're built for this shit. So if I seen anything from this, Knicks are winning in 6. All we got to do is take care of home court and steal a game on the road. And I'm not saying it's an easy task because the Indiana fans, they're wonderful. I'm not going to lie. They all come to the games. They all put on their shirt, their team shirts. It looks like a real playoff atmosphere. But at the same time, it's like we're road dogs, man. I think we just shine better at the road than in the Garden. I don't know what it is, but we're built for it, though. Shout out to the New York Knicks, man. Them boys is built for it.
All right, I'm just gonna end the show. What you said was so insane. I have nothing else to say, bro.
Top 5 player.
That's
Top
gonna do
5.
it. Oh, you got more to say? Go ahead. Let me know.
No. Top 5.
So that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. Just make sure y'all tune into these playoff games, man. We definitely will be recapping, doing all that good shit. Want to thank everybody for liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, the videos, all that. Please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at It's Debatable _. And follow me at Justin Jones on Facebook for details and developments on the platform. Delete.
Knicks in 6. Matter of fact, fuck that. I got one more now. I'm playing.
Bro, you can say whatever you want, bro. I need time to just process what you said.
I don't give a fuck what